Bacopa Monnieri, most frequently referred to simply as Bacopa or sometimes as the herb of grace or water hyssop, is a remarkably effective rejuvenative herb, especially when it is refined into an extract. And Bacopa is classified as a Brahmi herb, folks. And in the system of Ayurvedic healing, there are two main Brahmi herbs, and those two herbs are Bacopa and Gotu Kola. I'll definitely be referring to and discussing Gotu Kola in upcoming posts because it really is a remarkable herb. But Brahmi, ladies and gentlemen, to get back on track, is a Sanskrit word which in layman's terms can be defined as pure awareness or as the expansion of one's consciousness. And Brahmi herbs such as Bacopa do exactly that. When consumed, they promote absolute clarity of thought and the crystallization of awareness. And this is largely due to their ability to help clear the mind, improve mental and cognitive functioning, and increase the focus. And when your mind is clear and your brain is truly being nourished, your awareness has the potential to flower. And Bacopa really does have a handful of very powerful constituents which help deliver nutrients to the brain. It helps with the circulation. It helps calm the mind. It helps expand the awareness and so many other things. It really is one of nature's most powerful natural nootropics. And because of all of its incredible health benefits and especially its cognitive enhancing properties and expansion enhancing properties, because of these things, ladies and gentlemen, it's considered a very sacred and spiritual herb, especially in the Ayurvedic system of health. So because of Bacopa's strong influence on mental functioning and its remarkable ability to help calm the mind, it is a great herb to take if you are having difficulty staying on task, as well as if you are struggling with depression, ladies and gentlemen. Brahmi herbs also exert a very strong anxiolytic influence when consumed, making Bacopa as well as Gotu Kola a great herb to experiment with if you currently suffer from anxiety. And that's what anxiolytics do, ladies and gentlemen. They help lower anxiety. And Bacopa is a very powerful natural anxiolytic, especially, like I said earlier, if you consume it as an extract. So to summarize the whole extract thing, I suggest that if you take Bacopa or pretty much any other, not necessarily any other herb, but things like Bacopa, things like Gotu Kola, you really want to take them as an extract because the extraction process really helps make them much more powerful than just their, non-extracted counterparts. So what I mean by an extract is they take the raw material of the herb, usually the dried herb, and they extract all the most beneficial constituents out of it and leave the unnecessary materials behind, and it really enhances the alkaloid concentration and the concentration of very specific nutrients. So for Bacopa, I've taken the dried herb that's just been ground up into powder, and I've experimented with that, but I've gotten so much more benefit from taking it as an extract, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll put links in the description box below if you're interested in experimenting with the brand of Bacopa that I'm currently using, which is an extract. But years ago, after taking my first dose of Bacopa extract, I fell in love with it, and I continue to take it to this day. Of the two Brahmi herbs mentioned, Bacopa is my favorite. And although I do love Gotu Kola and I continue to recommend it to many of my clients, I personally prefer Bacopa. It really helps keep my mind clear and my thoughts focused, which in turn helps make my life much, much easier and enjoyable. I've experienced extremely heightened states of spiritual consciousness from taking Bacopa extract in the past, although this only happened on occasion. And I believe that Bacopa's ability to alter consciousness like this is why it is considered a Brahmi or consciousness expanding herb. The stuff really is magical, ladies and gentlemen. There were periods where I would take relatively large doses of Bacopa extract and my mind would go to very, very heightened states, almost samadhi-like states. So I'm not recommending that people take Bacopa extract in large amounts because in large amounts it can actually promote the expulsion of toxins and accumulated waste products from the GI tract, and that can be relatively uncomfortable. It can help stimulate peristalsis, and it can really help push things out of your system. And it can also, in large doses, make some people feel not necessarily... it can make people overstimulated in a way, but whenever I took it in moderate to high doses, not whenever I took it in high doses, but on occasion when I would take it in high doses, folks, my mind would almost reach like these samadhi states of consciousness where I was just completely incontent with the way things were in life and just everything. It's hard to explain exactly what these states of consciousness are like, but I would define it as more of like a unity consciousness where you just understand everything. And it's definitely an altered state of consciousness, and Bacopa has the ability to invoke altered states of consciousness. So I don't want to go too far into the esoteric realm of this particular herb, but it definitely has one. But I wanted to do my best not to kind of rant about that because sometimes people get lost in those types of details. But I will say that I have entered into relatively altered states of consciousness by taking Bacopa extract in the past. So with that aside, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back on track. Aside from being used as a cognitive enhancer, anxiolytic, and neuroprotective agent, Bacopa is also used for skin conditions, panic disorders, dementia, memory loss, and anti-aging. It's used as a disease preventative and as a tissue strengthener. And in the Ayurvedic system of healing, folks, Bacopa is considered a rasayana, herb, which are believed to strengthen one's life path, promote overall health and well-being, and prevent aging, and promote the expulsion of toxins from the body and the mind. So rasayana herbs are known to do that. Again, they are believed to, strengthen one's life path, promote overall health and well-being, prevent aging, and promote the expulsions of toxins from the mind and the body. And Bacopa, again, is a rasayana herb. It's a rasayana substance. Bacopa has multiple benefits for the physical body, such as helping lower the blood pressure, and this is most likely, folks, due to the herb's ability to help release nitric oxide, assisting the dilation of blood vessels, which in turn improves the blood flow. These are just a few of the many health benefits of Bacopa. So, Bacopa contains powerful constituents, such as but not limited to bacosides, brahmin, herpestine, ladies and gentlemen, bacogenins, stigmasterol, bacosine, stigmastanol, B-cytosterol. Bacopa's impressive list of constituents is really what gives it its power, and it has a handful of powerful saponins and alkaloids and anti-inflammatory components and blood cleansing properties. Again, it helps strengthen the tissues. It helps deliver oxygen to it helps deliver oxygen throughout the body. It's just an amazing all-around herb, ladies and gentlemen. Bacopa extract taken at moderate doses assists the body in the elimination of waste in the digestive system. I have personally experienced this on a handful of occasions, although I do not necessarily recommend that people do this. The constituents in Bacopa help soften accumulated fecal matter and impactions inside the colon and help stimulate peristalsis, which in turn promotes the movement of the bowels. So all in all, ladies and gentlemen, I have attained much benefit from taking Bacopa over the years. It has helped me stay healthy in an unwell world, and it has greatly helped me keep my mind sharp. It is without a doubt one of my favorite, if not my absolute most favorite herbs. And just remember that if you're going to consume it, take it as an extract, because the ground up, just dry herb by itself, although it will affect you, ladies and gentlemen, you end up having to take more of it to get the same effect that you would get from taking a small amount of the extract. And I find that this is just one of those herbs that really needs to be turned into an extract. I recommend taking it in capsules. It has an absolutely vile flavor. It's incredibly bitter. It tastes worse than Gotu Kola, which, as I mentioned earlier, is the other Brahmi herb in the Ayurvedic system of healing. There are two main Brahmi herbs in Ayurveda, which are Gotu Kola and Bacopa. Although there are so many herbs out there that have a Brahmi-like influence. So although there's two primary Brahmi herbs, there are so many different herbs out there, ladies and gentlemen, that expand the consciousness. Even more so than Bacopa, but I'm going to save that discussion for a different rant. But Bacopa and Gotu Kola are very safe Brahmi herbs. Some of the Brahmi herbs that I'm not going to discuss in this video are considered relatively unsafe and shouldn't be consumed regularly. But Bacopa and Gotu Kola are relatively safe. They have an excellent track record. They are very praised and respected, especially in the Ayurvedic system of self-healing. And they are considered a very spiritual and mind-opening constituent. or they are considered, both of them, very powerful mind-opening constituents. So Bacopa, if you have issues with, again, ADHD, depression, if you're having memory loss problems, this might be something that you want to look into. As well as if you're having issues, just if you're in kind of a rut, or if you're having difficulty getting over something, or if you're having difficulty with your problem solving abilities, I think Gotu Kola extract is something that you should definitely look into. It can really help you look at things from a different angle and help you move around a problem and resolve issues. I think that Bacopa is an excellent meditation enhancing herb that, if you take on a relatively empty stomach before you meditate, can really help you get more out of your meditations. I think that this herb is a very introspective herb, and if you use it responsibly and you use it to work on yourself and improve your life, you can really get a lot out of it. The herb can actually teach you a lot. I've talked a lot in previous video, or I talk a lot in my videos about finding a herbal ally that you can cultivate a relationship with here in this world, so that you can really learn from nature and develop a connection with nature through using a herb and getting into contact or working with the spirits contained within those herbs. And Bacopa is a great, very gentle herbal ally in spirit to develop a relationship with. Now I'm getting, again, kind of more into the esoteric aspects of herbalism and whatnot. So I kind of want to just stay on focus by saying, or by just wrapping this up by saying, that Bacopa is a wonderful all-around herb. If you are looking for a herb to enhance your spiritual life, this is a great herb to start with. Gotu Kola is as well, but I think Bacopa is even better. If you are looking for a herb or a natural constituent just to take on a regular basis to help keep your health levels in a state of balance and homeostasis, this is a great herb to look at. If you're looking to increase your memory or to enhance your cognitive functioning, this is a great herb to look at and to work with. If you're looking to enhance your meditations and your spiritual work, this is a wonderful herb. Just remember to take it as an extract, folks. The Doublewood Supplements Company has a great Bacopa extract that is affordable and effective. I'm not sure if the Earth Shift Products company still sells their Bacopa extract, but they had a wonderful Bacopa extract in the past, but I don't think Dr. Kassar sells that stuff anymore. I think he has a different company where he sells it in smaller amounts. But I think he has a company called Ojio, OJIO.com might be the website. And I think they only sell it in 2-ounce bottles, but that was a wonderful, which I think the Ojio brand, which Dr. Kassar sells, is the same product that he used to sell on earthshiftproducts.com. It's just labeled differently. And that was a wonderful Bacopa extract, folks. But I'm starting to babble. I want to wrap this one up. Bacopa is one of, if not my most favorite herbs. It's it's wonderful. Peace be with you. I wanted to personally thank you for watching my videos and contributing to the growth of my channel. I could not do this without you, and your interest in my content is truly what motivates me and fuels my passion for making these videos and spreading my message. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wanted to remind you that this channel is a free educational tool that is listener supported, and if you would like to donate to my channel and donate to my cause, help make my life a little bit easier and help keep the lights on around here, you can do so by checking out the links in the description box below. There's a handful of not only ways to donate to my channel, but I also have links to different websites and different videos of mine, as well as my Amazon store, where you can check out a plethora of different health-related products that I use and recommend. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued interest in my message, and until next time, peace be with you all.